and may we be intentional and consistent in helping our boys and girls. Thank you again for all you have done and all that you are going to do. We say again, you are welcome in this space. In Jesus' name, amen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome again to Let's Talk. I'm so happy to see so many guests this morning. So happy to see you. If you bought a guest, put your thumb up and then introduce your guest to us. Put your thumb up if you bought a guest. Okay, Jenalyn, go on.
My guest is Sual Cunningham from St. Eustatius.
Okay, again, welcome, Sual. Anybody else bought a guest this morning? Althea did. She's not on us yet. So Althea's guest. You are?
Hello.
Yeah. Althea's guest, right?
Yes.
Yes, good. Welcome. Althea.
Thank you.
Shortly.
My name is Isis.
Isis, yeah. We won't forget that name. Okay. Yes. Okay, we have Maxine. Maxine, who invited you?
Poncetta. I don't think she's on now.
Okay. Well, welcome, Maxine. And my guest is Layla. Welcome, Layla. Good to have you with us this morning. Good to have you with us this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we talked about happiness before. You remember what one thing about happiness, anybody? One thing you remembered about happiness?
You have to choose to be happy.
You have to choose to be happy. Well, guess what? Happiness is seeing the smile on a child's face as he or she learns. Happiness is seeing the smile on a child's face as he or she learns. And when we see them learning as parents, grandparents, siblings, teachers, whomever, what do we call that child? What's your S word you love to use?
Smart.
Smart. We say, oh, they're smart. And it puts a what on your face?
Smile.
So it's automatic. When children learn, it's automatic, puts a smile on your face. This is also so important. Don't wait until you reach your goal to be proud. Be proud of every step you take. Don't wait until you reach your goal to be proud. Be proud of every step you take. This is for you. This is for the kids. Every step, celebrate it. And don't just wait to try to reach the goal. That, I think you need to put on a sticky note and put it on your refrigerator. Celebrating small steps. So before we get into our workshop, you had a project last week to make a super duper over the top hot dog, because last week, Wednesday, was National Hot Dog Day. Let's see what these super duper over the top hot dogs were. Okay, whose is that at the top there? Whose hot dog is that? I think that's Althea. That's Althea. Okay, next one. Whose is that? The three dogs.
That's mine, Andrea.
Andrea, what you did?
I did chili cheese dog, and then I do the regular hot dog. But I had to hurry up take that picture because it gone as soon as I had to take the picture.
They loved it. Good. Chili cheese dog. Yes. Okay, next one. Whose is that?
That's mine.
All right. What's that over the top hot dog?
Okay, I call it an amazing hot dog. And although I had to use what I don't like for the hot dog and the gluten bread, other than that, I had 11 other ingredients.
Wow.
I had butter, cheese, tomato, cucumber, onion, mustard sauce, pizza sauce, and peanut butter, pumpkin seed, and dried cranberry.
My goodness gracious.
I had to balance it out.
And how was the taste?
It was gorgeous. I ate two.
Really? Okay. My God, that's what you call over the top. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. That the next one was mine. I made a pineapple salsa. I had a pineapple here. So I made a salsa with parsley and all red onions and bell peppers and made a pineapple salsa. That was good. That was one way of me eating my pineapple. I love pineapple too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. I think that's Omnidata. That's what's Omnidata's hot dog. So thank you again for submitting those projects. Thank you so much. Now your project this week, before we get started, because this is a back to school segment, I want you to make a package, prepare some supplies for even one student. Okay, you don't have to take a picture and send it to me. We'll discuss it next week. Prepare some supplies for a student. Okay. Now I know you will be preparing for your own family. So somebody outside your family. Okay. For a student, do that outside your family. All right. Now we are going to an important topic, back to school. Thumbs up. How many of you are looking forward to back to school, whether sending those kids off or going in the classroom? Thumbs up. Nobody? You're not excited to get rid of the kids? Layla is, get those kids out of my hair and back into the teacher's hair. All right, the rest of you want them around, huh? All right. Cash, you want to keep that girl here? You don't want to send off to school? Why is going to school important? I need 3 persons to give me 3 different reasons why going to school is important. Put your thumbs up. Why is going to school important? Put your thumb up, I'll call you. Okay, go on, Edith. One reason.
Is to allow children to mature in all areas.
Okay, to mature in all areas, like what? What areas are you referencing?
Knowledge, skills, social, spiritual, whatever.
Okay.
All the areas apply.
All the areas. Okay, Miss Curtis.
To educate themselves for the future.
Okay, prepare for the future. Okay, one more person. Why go to school? What's all this big deal about school? One more person.
I think I saw Lala's hand up.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
Layla, what you say?
Yes, definitely education, social skills. Children need to learn social skills.
Okay.
And learn how to get along with others.
Okay, all social skills. All right. So yes, all of that, you're preparing for the future. In a nutshell, going to school prepares our children for the future. And it makes a difference. Trust me, it makes a difference when they become adults, depending on what education they had coming up. And you yourself, I have seen that in my own life. Your education plays a significant part in your future. So let's go now. I'm talking to you and giving you some tips and some tricks that you can use. Maybe you are using them, but again, as we say on this show, we need to be intentional and what, ladies?
Consistent.
Consistent. Now, many of us, we want to do it, we plan to do it, we do it helter-skelter now and again. Be intentional and consistent to move our boys and girls forward. Now, this is not for this workshop, but I have been reading test scores and results, and I'm not happy. Now, I hope you are not happy with where our boys and girls are, and we can make a difference. Each one can make a difference. Concentrate on the kids you have charge of. Okay, the first thing you need to be reminded of is remember to establish routines. Establish routines. You need to have routines in place so children know what the expectations are, and you don't get up every morning for school, everybody running, what they say, like a chicken with the head cut off. So you need to establish routines. So I'm going to give some suggestions now as to what these routines could look like. And by the way, this needs to begin now. Here in the US, teachers return, I think some may return this week, returning next week, certainly, and school opens full-fledged in August. We are off to a start. In the Caribbean and elsewhere, you may stay a little long in September. But all this school prep needs to begin before the day the bell rings for school. So what are some of those routines? One, make sure you have a week at a glance, not a day by day. Set up some place, some sticky note, whatever it looks like for you. You can see exactly what Monday through Friday looks like just at a glance. So make some routine chart, whatever. Put it on the fridge, whatever. So the child knows his or her responsibility and you know what the expectations are. Begin now, because they're on holiday. The sleep pattern has been all over the place. All over the place. The children have been going to bed when they like and waking up when they like. Now, before school begins, begin to regulate that sleep and wake up time. What time that child needs to be to bed, depending on the grade level, depending on the age, what time they're expected to wake up. Begin that now. That is very important. Begin that routine now. Go through the routine of getting ready. What does getting ready look like? Go through it. If you have kids who are just going to school for the first time, role play what getting ready looks like. Act it out. Act it out all for 1 week so they become accustomed to it. When you get up, what do? You go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you have your shower or your bath, you have your breakfast, you put on your uniform, you don't wear uniform, whatever your school clothes are. You need to make sure, role play it for all new students going to school for the first time. Don't just tell them, role play, work it out with them, let them dramatize it. Pick up your snacks, pick up your book. This is what we do. 1, 2, 3, in what order you're going to do it. Establish a routine for the child's homework. When are they going to do homework? Are they going to do their homework immediately as they come home from school? Are you going to give them a break? Are they going to begin it in the evening? Whatever. You need to get this in place. Trust me, it's going to make your life easier. And remember, included in establishing routines, hopefully your child still has some household tasks to do. Hopefully you're training your child for that as well. So when is that child expected to take the trash out? When is the child expected to wash the dishes? Whatever it is, all of these routines need to be in place. Now, the second point is don't let your children skip breakfast. No, I do as an adult, I'll confess, as an adult, especially in teaching, I just go to school. That is not good for children. Don't let them skip breakfast. Some schools, the schools over here, I can speak about the district where I work and the area here in Alabama, provide breakfast for the kids. So yes, they go off and they eat breakfast at school. If this does not happen in your child's school, or some children are allergic to this and they don't eat that, then you need to prepare breakfast so that they eat. Trust me, they will do much better in school if they eat breakfast. Those first subjects that are taught and they're wide awake and they've had their breakfast, they are going to do so much better. So make breakfast. You know, one thing this show has been teaching you a lot of different ways and menus and what to do. You could do quick breakfast. You're not doing anything that's going to tie anything up. You could do overnight oats. We have learned how to do that. Put in the jar, put in the fridge in the morning, it's ready. Do your quick oats, your quick grits, quick pancakes. You don't have to make pancakes from scratch. Somebody already made it and is in the freezer in the food store. Take it out. You know, prepare breakfast in advance. Don't wait until the morning and scratching your head. What are we going to eat this morning? Remember what I said? Week at a glance. Remember that was the first thing? Plan for the week. Plan for the week. On Monday, I'm going to give them what? Eggs and quick grits. On Tuesday, I'm going to give them, pancakes and sausage. What plan? I'm going to give them cereal. Don't wake up in the mornings and everybody running around. If you know what to do, the morning is going to start off better. There's no crying. I know I don't know where this is, and you're shouting and screaming, and I have to go to work. Plan for the week. Very important. In planning for the week, if your kids wear uniforms, here they don't. In the state schools, they wear their own clothes. Plan for the week. What are they going to wear? Have them pressed, hung up Monday through Friday. These are the clothes. The kids should know what they're going to wear every day. In your planning, have involved the kids. So when they get up, the bigger, older kids, okay, this is your uniform. You're wearing your long pants and your top today. Tomorrow, you may be wearing your PE uniform or whatever. have them lined up in the closet, ready for the week. That is very, very important. Don't get up in the morning pressing, ladies. Please don't do that. Plan for the week. Everything from Sunday, you have everything in order. And the child knows, involve the children in planning for the week. Okay. Remember, this is the time to purchase school supplies. Don't wait until school open. I'm waiting for things to go on sale. You know, and child goes to school, they don't have all their supplies. Everybody else comes in with supplies. But again, I tell you what they come in with, and I'm talking from experience. They come in with that new pair of tennis shoes. That $200, $300 pair of tennis shoes. But when you ask, where is your folder? Where are your pencils? Where your glue sticks? Where your scissors? My mommy say she could buy it next week.
Next week.
When Walmart goes on sale. Purchase those children's school supplies and get a head start. And I'm not talking about tennis shoes. That's not knowledge. Remember why we go to school? Not to show how expensive and what tennis shoes we wear. Put the money into the school supplies. I beg you. Get the class list. Every class has a class list.
Yes.
Find out what it is the child needs and get the supplies for it. Let the child go shopping with you. This is the time they go. So they begin to get excited about school. So they get their pen. And talking about pencils, as far as I'm aware and I know, there are just certain pencils that are even used in school, that number 2 pencils. The reason for that is when they're doing these tests where they have the bubble in, there are certain pencils that don't do that. So make sure you don't get what you want. Get what the school supplies are on that class list. And please do that now. Whether they're going to school in August here or they're going in September. Get a head start. And then number 5, set boundaries. Let me repeat that again. Set boundaries for your kids. If you have older kids, set a curfew for them, especially on school nights. Older kids need a curfew. Not just little kids. Talking about this, I have found out that most of us pay attention to the kids when they're in K through maybe 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and after that you leave them alone and they're on their own. Please pay attention to the older kids because, as I said, I try to track results. And that 4th grade, those 4th grade results, I'm looking at US. I try to track the Bahamas and the other places. I can't pick up your data, but I do here. That 4th grade in that math and reading, they're in trouble. Why? Because we leave them alone. That curfew is very important. And then no play dates on school nights. This is not time to go to party and go to visit your friend and go for game night. School is work, school is business. This is not what we call play. This is for real. No play dates on school nights. Limit screen time. If I had my way, I'll put no screen time. If I had my way, that's Blanche. But because that is going to detract from school. Let children know they have a job and that job is going to school. That's not time to sit down and watch TV. All summer they've been on iPad and game and whatever. They need now to settle down in their books if we're going to move this generation further along. This is also important in setting boundaries. Don't overload with extracurricular activities. I know you want your child to be in soccer. I know you want your child to learn how to play the piano. I know you want your child and you say, I want them to be all-rounded. But when they have gone to all of these things and they come home to do homework, they are all so tired. The homework, scribbly scrabble, half done, not done, don't understand what they're doing. Don't do that. Don't overload with extracurricular activities. You want them to learn some things, I suggest leave it until summer. So in the summer, they do those things, but don't overload. It's going, trust me, to affect their academics if you do that. Don't overload that. It really is going to affect them. And then you need to ensure during this time that you have your child's back to school physicals done. Pay attention to that, please. So if they need immunizations, make sure it's now up to date. Don't wait until school open and then you send a note to the school and say, they're coming in late because, we have to take them to get their shots or what. Do that now. Don't take away. Don't take away from learning time. Do not, as far as possible, take away from learning time. All your doctor's appointment and dentist appointment, see if you can have them after school. Please, as far as possible, dentist and doctor's appointment after school. So except it is an emergency, don't let your child miss school, not even an hour, because you neglected to take time off from your work to see that they get their immunizations or whatever they need. So make sure of that. Very important as we prepare for back to school. Please attend open house, meet the teacher, orientation, whatever you call it. Please, 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 please attend open house. No, when they say it's open house, go, please. Please go. Why? Why that's important? You meet the teacher, you meet the teachers if they're in middle school, high school, and you get to interact with them. You see the classroom they're going to be in, and the orientation is where I want to park a little bit here. I want to park a little bit right here. You need parents, grandparents, caregivers, whomever, pay attention to the handbook. Every school has a handbook. In fact, now I'm talking from my experience, children have to sign that handbook at the beginning of school. I think parents have to as well. Now, you sign something and sometimes we don't even pay attention to what we sign in until trouble comes and then we say, I didn't know. So pay attention now before school open to the handbook. There are policies for every school. Now, I've been reading up and I applaud the school systems are now saying no cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happening in the Bahamas and St. Eustatius and Trinidad and whatever, Jamaica. But here, no cell phones. Some parents haven't kicking up a storm about that, but yeah, no cell phones. And you know the reasons why. I don't have to go in. No electronic devices. And guess what? When I've been reading up the policies now, they are saying, your child, you bought all this cute Elsa water bottle and all these beautiful, cute little, they said the kids can't bring those to school now. They have to bring clear water bottles to school where everyone can see what you're drinking. See-through clear plastic water bottles. So they banning all these Yeti cups and all these nice things you have, fancy things. They banning it. And I don't have to go into why. You know why. You know why they're banning this stuff. So you may say, which some of us do say and will say anyhow, that's not my child. They wouldn't put any alcohol in there and stuff. No, we don't know that as teachers, as administrators, so the rule is for everybody. We're not going to exempt your child because of you. So know the school policies. Now there's some essential. I'm going to go through 10 essential school policies you need to be aware of. Maybe others, but you need to be aware of this. Attendance. Your child needs to go to school. Full stop. Your child needs to go to school. Attendance. Missing a lot of class can create a huge gap in your child's learning. A huge gap in your child's learning. So they need to go to school. Watch the dress code. Schools have dress codes. Schools have tardiness policies. Some have their tardy 3 times is counted as an absence. Know it. So these don't catch you by surprise and you say, I didn't know. And talking about tardiness, you put your children to bed on time and they get up on time, you get up on time, they won't be tardy. Because we have an excuse for everything. The traffic. Well, you know the traffic is out there. You're not the only one taking your child to school. You're not the only person going to work. And especially when school opens those first 2 weeks, my goodness, back-to-back cars. You have new parents on the road, plus the old parents going. You have the high school kids driving on the road. So what you expect? So if you know, this is knowledge, you know. But you say, oh, they were late because then they need to go to bed a little bit earlier to get their 6 or 7, 8 hours of sleep. You need to get in bed and get up enough time so the kids you reach on time. Because that tardiness is going to count against them. And kids who are habitually late, they miss that first part of school. That 10, 15 minutes in the lower grades, that circle time and stuff, they miss all of that. And they come in looking, wide-eyed, what's happening? Please make sure you pay attention to the attendance and that tardiness. Pay attention to your school's handbook on bullying. This is a big deal nowadays. I mean, children look at one another and cut their eye. They say, you're bullying me. So pay attention to this and see what the handbook says. And talk to your child. It's important you talk to your own child about what bullying is and what not to do. Talk to your child about student discipline. All of this is found in that handbook. How the school is going to discipline your child if they do this, this, or that. So you need to be aware of it. So you don't go up to the school all huffing and puffing and saying, why you to keep my child in detention or why is she suspended? She didn't do, your child never do anything. I've taught, 40 years. I hardly meet 5 parents who say their child did it. Okay, so you need to know what the policies are. Because if your child gets in trouble, the school is going to discipline them. You need to know what that looks like. And before that happens, talk to your child so they don't fall in that category where they have to be disciplined. You don't want them fall. So you do that from home. And hopefully you've been teaching your child respect. And we used to say the older kids have a problem with that, but boy, I haven't been teaching. I'm telling you, from the kindergarten, those children, they are, I mean, fill in the blank. So you know, when your children go to school and they're disrespectful, as much as we hate to admit it, that's a reflection of the home. That's a reflection of home. They get away with it at home, so they come to school and do it. As an educator, I know all the homes where they don't tolerate disrespect. Because as soon as they start and you say, okay, stop, you see their lips come together and their eyes water because they don't surely want you to report home. So that respect has to be worked on from home. So we don't go to any teacher and say, you are wrong because my child is not disrespectful. Fighting. There's a school policy for fighting. So please don't tell your children, hit them back if they hit you. That's why we have adults. The children at school are supposed to be supervised at all times. All times the children are supposed to be supervised. So make sure that your child knows that who to go to when something happens. That's why they're there, whether they're at PE, whether they're at music, wherever they are. Adults are supposed to be there. So they go to the adult. Don't handle it yourself because you will get in trouble too. This one. Schools have substitute teachers because for one reason or the other, the classroom teacher has to be absent. And so a substitute teacher goes into the classroom. Well, this is the time the children thought that they had a party day because my teacher is not here. So I can act up, I can do whatever I want to do and bring disruption to the class. Please warn your children about this, that this thing of respect goes for everybody, not just your mommy and your daddy and your grandma. This respect goes for all adults. And so when that substitute teacher goes in that class, the same respect that they show to their homeroom teacher, they need to show to that substitute teacher. And then in that handbook and the school policies, you have the student code of conduct, which you need also to make sure you are paying attention to it. Pay attention to it. So that handbook and those policies, you need to read it. You need to discuss it with your child so they know. They must know what the school's expectations are. Whether they're good students, bad students, they need to know. These are the school's expectations. Now, the other thing is, begin now, because kids have been on summer break. They really have not been, most of them, I can't say all, reading the way they should have been reading. They're more game playing and on vacation here and there. Start from now. Get them back reading. Get them back into reading and get them back into writing. As teachers, when the kids return to school, I mean, you wonder if they held a pencil. Their handwriting is all over the place. So begin now to get them reading, set time for reading, and set time for writing. Let them do some writing and reading. Get them back into this. So they go to school, they are ready to learn. Big deal. Discuss positive behaviors. positive. What does that look like? Again, role play it so they know what it is, what the expectations are. What does courtesy look like? Let them talk about it, act it out. And again, practice it at home so it's automatic when the kids go to school. They don't have to put on a show. They know what to do because this is what I do. This is how I live. This is my way of life. Kindness. What does that look like? Discuss it with the child. What does it mean to be kind? What about, we talked about this already, respect. You know, what does that look like? This one, participation. Many teachers give points or partial grades for participation. And so you may say, my child is quiet. She doesn't talk much. Well, if some points are being given for participation, they need to learn how to participate. Remember what school is? We're preparing the children for the world. And in this world, we collaborate, we mix with other people. So that's called participation. And how do we do this? You discuss it with the child. You raise your hand. You don't shout out. Why? Discuss why you don't shout out your answer. Talk it over with them. Have a discussion with them. So they need to learn how to participate. They need to learn how to follow directions. Don't do what you think you heard. Do what you were told to do. And this following directions can be a verbal direction. You know, if children learn to follow verbal directions, we would have better results on our test because the written directions, they will also follow. So if it says go line up in ABC order, then they need to learn how to do that. So that when they get the test and it says, well, color, all the color which one is in ABC order, the verbal as well as the written, they're able to do, following directions. And these are things that you practice from home. These are not just for school. You practice these in your own home, following directions. And then very, very important for positive behavior, completing assignments. If they do not complete their assignments, how are they going to get a grade? How do you expect them to get a grade? And please stop finding excuses. Please, the excuses, they are slow. They write slow. Well, these are things we have to work on because they are slow. Guess what? They'll never pass an exam if you're going to give with that excuse. Every exam now, all these state exams, not for slow people. They are timed exam. So if you can't read fast, you can't comprehend fast, you can't do critical thinking fast, you'll never pass. So that's slow, not going to work. They're not slow when they go to their iPad. They're not slow on the game. So get them fast on their work. And then that's completing assignment in school and also completing a homework assignment and on time, on time. And then self-regulation. Be responsible for you. You didn't go to school to be responsible and the boss of all the other children in the class. And every minute you can tell what everybody else is doing. Take care of your own business. So teach your child that. You are there, take care of your own business. Do what you are supposed to do. You're not there to be overseer of the others. Very important. Dedicate time for the family. In all this school rush, you need to create opportunities for open communication. Sit down, have a time after school to talk with your children or your child. What was school like today? And don't take just good. What do you mean by good? What do you mean by good? Okay, show your child that you are interested in what is going on. Don't brush them off. So sit down and take time and talk to them, eye to eye. Listen to them. And they will keep communication going better if you show interest in what is going on. And then the final point I want to leave with you is designate areas. Areas for what? Teacher correspondence. Where you going to put all those notes and permission slips and field trip and all that stuff, progress report and report cards, homework. Where you going to put those? So set aside a bin or folder or whatever it looks like for you. Put that also I should add in there, designated area. Where is your child going to do his or her homework? Very important. Where are they going to do homework? Make sure it's a well-lit, quiet place. You can't have the TV running in the area where your child going to do homework. Needs to be well-lit, no noise, and the child knows this is where I go for homework. And when they go, another thing, have all their stuff there. The crayons in the little box, the sharpener is there, the pencils are there, everything in place. So when they sit down, oh, they jump up. I didn't need the scissors. Oh, I need to sharpen. Everything is in that designated area. So these are just some tips that I like to leave with you. And remember, we have to be intentional and consistent in order to move our boys and girls forward. Proverbs 1:5 tells us, it's the wisest man that ever lived. He said, let the wise listen. Only listen. Add to their learning. Let the wise listen and add to their learning. So I hope that this workshop, back to school workshop, has been beneficial for you, and that you may not have a child directly in your home now, but you will be able to share these tips and tricks with someone, someone in the family, some friend, some neighbor who needs a little help in moving our children forward. Remember, your child, the world is big, fluid, transient, may meet my child. So if you prepare your child well and meet my child, I don't mind that meeting. But we know how we go. We don't want my child who's so smart meeting your child who you did nothing with, and they end up marrying. We all pull out our hair and suck our teeth and backs. So do your best with your child. I do my best with my child, and we'll have a better world. So thank you all those who joined us for this special back to school segment. And I hope you won't be any more strangers to us. And I say have a wonderful back to school year as we try to implement these tricks and tips to help our boys and girls. Thank you again for joining us on Let's Talk this morning. Bye.
Thank you too. God bless you.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good day.